Okay, our stock has cooled off a little bit and we are ready to turn it into actual stock instead of this vegetable broth that we have going on here. And the idea is to release as much flavor as we can, so I have a standard potato masher here. And I'm going to squish the vegetables here to help get the juices out and the flavors out of the vegetables. So we're just squishing them down just like you would with mashed potatoes to get things going a little bit here. And now that we've done that for a little bit, all we're going to do, you can see that over here, we'll move this a little bit, we have our big bowl, once again, with a strainer in it. And so all we're going to do is take a ladle, which I have over here, and just simply scoop everything into here, letting the juices run down into the bowl. Oop, see, I told you there would be accidents. And then we'll just give it a little squish. You can see all the extra juice you get out when you do squish a little bit. And then once the juice is out, you can just shake it a little bit to make sure. Oops, there goes some more in. Anyway, we'll show you how to fix that. Don't worry, it's not a big issue. We will take and just put it in a sink so we can go down into disposal. Get another batch. And just repeat this process for a little bit. Yep, see? Anyway, like I said, that's okay because we're going to run this through the strainer one more time. And what some people can do, and what you may want to do, is once this step is done and you've strained it a second time, is to actually strain it through some cheesecloth. You can buy cheesecloth at the store. And put some cheesecloth, line your strainer with the cheesecloth, and then run it through again. Now we'll catch some of the smaller particles. Okay. So we're getting to the point where we're not going to, it does it every time. I should know by now. Now you just dump this thing straight in. And you can see how dark and rich that water looks. Because it's not water anymore. It's been, the vegetables have cooked in it for a while. And now this time, I'm going to be smart and hold the strainer. But I think I'm ready just to pour this in. Take the bottom of the ladle, push it up a little bit, and see how much more juice I get when I squish. And that actually has a lot of the flavor. Make sure it's all out. There's only a couple more scraps in here, so I'm just going to put those in the pile over here. It's cool enough I can just use my hand for that. And get this pot cleaned out so there's nothing in it anymore. Including the peppercorns, which are down at the bottom. And so there it is. So you can see it's fairly clean, except for this big piece here that I don't want. A couple more. Empty it out. It's fairly clean. We'll put the broth back in here. Get all the other vegetable matter out of the bowl. Take the strainer once again, and then catch all of the things that fell through the first time. As you can see, I let quite a few things go through. Yep, and just did again. we'll have to strain that out. So there we are. So we'll run those down the disposal. We'll put them in the trash. That's now done. And so the final step is to just put it into a container that you can put in your refrigerator. I still do it over the sink because I'm quite, as my wife points out, and I pointed out before, I'm a little bit of a messy cook. Just have a little container here, plastic container, and it's probably not a good idea to use plastic in that to hold things anymore. From what we know about plastic, you may have something more appropriate. You may have a different kind of bowl. That's fine. I'm going to use a funnel here to make sure that I can do more. And then you can either take the ladle and just pour it right in. Oops, see, there goes some all over the floor. Have to go a little bit slower. And then when you're done, you can put this in the refrigerator. Like I said, we use this to make soups with. I'll use it to make our French onion soup, which we all like here so much. I'll use it to cook the lentils in for our lentil taco night. Every Friday is lentil taco night. And so the lentils need to be cooked in some broth. Yep, look at that, see? Got a big piece of onion here. Make sure that goes into the sink and not into the container. Oops, see? Caught another one. You may want to be a little bit more careful than I am. And since I don't do the second thing and you end up with a little bit of bigger particles, you can kind of see them in the bowl already. What I will do is I will shake up the container before I make anything with it in order to ensure that all of... We don't need that last little bit. And there we have it. Like I said, you could have done chicken stock this way, you could have done beef stock, fish stock, any kind of stock you wanted. The only difference we did was we roasted the vegetables. There's again some argument as to whether or not you can roast your bones, your beef bones or your chicken bones before you do your stock. And then we didn't have to watch for it to boil with chicken stock to peel to take the scum off of the top, which you don't, some recipes say you don't need to do that either. But we have our stock here. We're going to put that in the refrigerator, and like I said, we'll use it for a lot of different things. I will save up my vegetables now. I'll take the tomato cores and the bottom part of the tomatoes, put it in there. I'll do some potato peels, not very much, you don't want it to be over potato peely. And I will use like the peels from eggplant. I'll take the celery ends that you don't use and put them in there, the celery tops that you don't use and put them in there. And actually, if I have some celery in the crisper and it's starting to turn a little bit, go a little bit too wilty, I'll take that out and put that in with the rest of my frozen sage vegetables, and we'll use that too. So basically anything that I have we'll use, and we end up with this nice deep rich brown stock that will help enhance a lot of our different foods. So with that, if you have any questions, post them on the blog, joncooks.com. I have to remember the blog site. And I'll try to answer them as best I can, and I'm sure there'll be other people there that can help us out too. So with that, go to it, and we'll be back soon.